We all know Kris Jenner, okay? The devil works hard, but Kris Jenner works harder. That is who she is, okay? Kris Jenner, who's been on TV since 2007. She is the matriarch of the Kardashian-Jenner empire. Well, her plastic surgery has hit the internet, and she's copped to it. Kris Jenner has said, you know what? I did have some plastic surgery. I did get a little bit of a tune-up, a little nip, a little bit of a tuck. I would say it's a little more than a little. But Kris Jenner, she did cop to this. And we have some before and after pictures that we will put up on the screen. If you're with us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, make sure to come to YouTube and look at the before and after pictures. Now, what's difficult about before and after pictures these days is that everybody has a filter on. So even in the after picture, Kris Jenner probably has a ton of filters because the Kardashians do not put out pictures unless they are heavily filtered. So we did some digging into exactly what was going on with Kris Jenner. So Kris Jenner, she's 69 years old. She looks great. Okay, she looks fabulous. But according to Page Six, this work was done by Dr. Stephen Levine, who allegedly did Lindsay Lohan, allegedly did Demi Moore. You know, Demi Moore had a situation recently. Some things didn't look right, okay? She needed the substance. Some things she had done were not settling properly. You know what I'm saying? But one issue I have, and I was noticing this with Kris Jenner's pictures and Demi Moore and a lot of these celebrities, they're getting these huge cheekbones. They're getting these like massive, massive, massive cheekbones. Why can't anyone look somewhat natural? Why do we need these huge, insane cheekbones that people can see from a mile away? I don't know when that became the norm. Why do you have to look like the person from Saw, Jigsaw? I haven't seen the movie, but y'all know what I'm talking about. When did this become the norm that you have to have an inordinate amount of filler put into your cheeks? I don't know what they are injecting them with. It is probably not MAHA, Make America Healthy Again approved. It is probably toxic, but you know, she's a Kardashian. One thing I'll also say about Kris Jenner, people are coming at her for her plastic surgery. She has to keep up with all these daughters. Kris Jenner has 5,000 kids, and they're all, you know, models. Kim is on the cover of Vogue, and Kendall's a model, and Kylie's done a lot to her face. So, you know, Mother Kris here, she has to keep up with the daughters. Now, the price tag for this type of surgery, back in 2020, the estimate for this surgery was $45,000. Now, as we know with inflation the past 5 years, that could be close to $80,000, $90,000. My guess, though, is that Kris Jenner paid nothing. The fact that she came out and said, yes, this is the doctor I worked with, this is all the work I had done, it makes me think she probably paid absolutely nothing for this surgery. The doctor was probably, you know, jumping out of his bones to do Kris Jenner's plastic surgery. I will say, though, when it comes to Kris Jenner and all of this plastic surgery, we could do a side-by-side of her and Caitlyn Jenner, right? Caitlyn Jenner went from Bruce to Caitlyn, went from a man to a woman, and still has had less procedures than Kris Jenner, okay? Kris Jenner still looks like she has had more plastic surgery than Bruce, okay? And Caitlyn Jenner, we have some mutual friends. Caitlyn Jenner, she's MAGA. Shout out to you, Caitlyn. I would rather party with Caitlyn Jenner than any other members of the Kardashian family. I probably wouldn't get in a, you know, vehicle with Caitlyn Jenner based on the stories we've seen. If I saw her on the road, I'd probably move into the shoulder. But when we look at Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner side by side, it is dumbfounding that Kris Jenner has had more surgery than Bruce, okay? That is crazy, but that is the way it goes in the wacky, insane world of Hollywood. And like I said, we're here to break down the calamities of Hollywood and the circus of Washington, D.C.